going to check on this second hive. This hive from the beginning has not shown as much signs of strength. So I don't really know what I'm going to see when I get in here. It's not impossible this hive has already swarmed. Nowhere near the activity on the entrance of this hive that I see on this one. Again, that was like that from the beginning. So my hopes are not too high with what I'm going to see in here. Very little activity. Wondering if this hive is not already swarmed, which will be very frustrating. A swarm is very normal in the spring. And a swarm doesn't necessarily mean that the hive is completely gone, but about half of the hive will leave. I'm going to bring you in closer so that you can see what we're working with. So this hive is here, which is good. Like the other hive, I was able to introduce some built-out frames and foundations for them in addition to the 5-frame nooks that came. So I'm interested to see what they've done with that. Are they building anything on it? But I'm going to just clean off this propolis off the top of these frames. And we'll just see what we got here. Again, this hive, it's still early. It could pick up some activity if we've got a queen that's doing their job. And if we don't, they'll either raise a queen or I could take my chances of purchasing a queen. When I installed this initially, I saw what appeared to be a lot more drone eggs than actual healthy queen eggs. Let's see what we got here. See, this is the center, and you've got some capped frames here, but this is mostly filled with jelly, very irregular patterns. I'm going to look to see for some signs of eggs that are in varying stages. On this one, I don't really see, I see some capped, but that could be from an old dead queen. We're just going to inspect and see. I would love to have 2 healthy hives. Last year was not so blessed. Again, very little capped brood. Very little. This is mostly royal jelly. My suspicion is here that we do not have a queen. So I'm going to keep looking, and if I don't see any activities nor seeing a sign of them raising their own, I might try to see if I could quickly order a queen and see if this hive will adopt a new mother. Again, some capped brood, but very irregular. I don't see any larva that's getting ready to hatch. I'm going to look into these foundations that I gave them on the outside too, and I'm going to check one more. This was a hive that they came with, this foundation. Again, really no brood in here. They're capping it with honey, likely off of the sugar water that I'm bringing them, but very little to speak of. This next frame, this is one that I gave them that was already built out. Let's see what they've done with it. Little to nothing. It had some old cappings in it. What I think I will do, if I don't see anything else here, I'm not going to give them the benefit of working on this shallow super that's already built out with frames and foundations from last year. There's plenty more work they can do on this that they're just not doing, and I will salvage and save those shallow supers potentially for the other hive as a honey super, because this is just not acceptable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and give them some food, rebuild them up that with sugar water. They're my responsibility, so I'm going to feed them. But I'm going to investigate and explore what it would take for me to get a hold of a new queen, try to introduce it to this hive. But I need to do that quickly.